Governor Gov Baker with an update on the state's preparedness for the coronavirus. Good evening and thank you for joining us for Western Mass News at 6. I'm Beth Ward. Chris is off tonight. The governor says Massachusetts remains at a low risk for the virus and it has only had one confirmed case to date so far. That patient has recovered. Governor Baker says that the Department of Public Health has set up strategic steps to respond to the coronavirus and to help the public stay safe.
The Department of Public Health has launched a state website where the latest information and facts on coronavirus are available, established an incident command structure to serve as an organizational system in the event of an outbreak. This will help with information sharing, decision making, and response efforts statewide. Implemented procedures for voluntary home self-quarantine for individuals returning from travel to China. Remain engaged with local boards of health, schools, emergency management service providers, and hospitals to provide the latest guidance and offer state support.
For more on that state support and all of the resources provided from Governor Baker's talk today, you can go to westernmassnews.com. Well, local hospitals are under the gun preparing their staff for the threat of coronavirus. Western Mass News reporter Audrey Russo joins us now live from Bay State Medical Center with the latest on how Massachusetts nurses, doctors, and hospitals are establishing their front line of treatment. Audrey?
Nurses, of course, are often the first healthcare workers to see patients face to face and give them treatment. Local hospitals and the State Nurses Association are reminding workers about the proper protocol for putting on and taking off that protective gear. But several local nurses that I spoke with wonder if that's going to be enough.
There will be transmission in the community. It's just a matter of when that will happen.
Armando Paez is the chief of infectious diseases with Bay State Medical Center. He says although there's only been one confirmed case of coronavirus in Massachusetts, Bay State doctors and workers are constantly meeting about the virus.
There have been several meetings and preparations with infection control and as well as medical health leaders.
Whether it's the seasonal flu, whether it's the behavioral health crisis, whether it's coronavirus, we need enough nurses to take care of the patients.
In Hampshire County, nurses represented by the Massachusetts Nurses Association tell Western Mass News they have concerns about their staffing numbers. They say coronavirus threats loom ominously over MNA negotiations to lower the nurse-to-patient ratio in what's already considered a busy flu season.
It is overflowing on a daily, hourly basis. I mean, we've got nurses that have had 7, 10. We even had a nurse recently that had 13 patients to take care of at the same time.
We reached out to Cooley Dickinson officials. They say they're coordinating their coronavirus preparedness with Massachusetts General and that they have the ability to increase the number of isolation units if needed. Officials went on to say, quote, if there were a surge in patients, we would reallocate medical personnel to ensure all patients were cared for.
We don't know enough about the virus, and the reality of that has come to the forefront.
Meantime, the Health and Safety Associate Director for the MNA says a reduction in scientists and industrial hygienist positions across the medical industry could mean hospitals are underprepared.
Cutting down the knowledge base of what to do. So now in a crisis, we don't have these people who are highly operational.
Christine Pontus tells Western Mass News over the phone she's trained nurses on the Centers for Disease Control's recommended way to put on and dispose of medical protection equipment to avoid contamination. But she says the coronavirus protocol is evolving so rapidly, healthcare workers have to be on at all times. She gave an instance of this during our 20-minute phone call.
From the time that I got on the phone with her, we got 2 emails. That's an example of how fast this is going, about what to do.
Now, at a press briefing earlier today, the governor of Massachusetts and several state health officials said they're going to be updating the state's coronavirus website with the number of how many people are being quarantined for possible fear of having the virus and how many people have been cleared and no longer have any symptoms. Live in Springfield, Audrey Russo, Western Mass News.
Audrey, thank you. Parents are speaking out at a school committee meeting in South Hadley tonight. This comes after they say a basketball coach was let go. Western Mass News reporter Sarah Grinelli is live outside of the high school with more on that story. Sarah?
Beth, we've seen several parents file into the school. Now, the meeting is set to just begin right now. Parents are voicing their concerns over the decision to get rid of the boys' varsity basketball coach mid-season. Parents say the firing of the coach, David Dubunik, happened without warning. Some parents tell Western Mass News they feel this action forced the season to end early because of low morale on the team. According to the school website, the last game was on February 25th. We spoke with one parent who described what happened in early February.
Well, we went to a game on Thursday evening and the coach was not there, and we asked around, found out he was suspended that night, and then got a phone call the next day, Friday, that he was fired. And that was it.
Inside, parents will be voicing their opinions during the public comment hearing. We're told the school committee has no jurisdiction over personnel matter, so this would not be taking this issue up on the actual agenda item. Now, we've reached out to the school superintendent, but we have not heard back for comment. Live in South Hadley tonight, Sarah Gurnelli, Western Mass News.
Mild temperatures to start off the week after a fairly chilly weekend. And after some great sunshine today, cloud cover has already started to roll back in. Skies are cloudy and they're going to stay that way through the rest of the night, but we are still dry at the moment. And in fact, we do have a couple of hours of dry weather, but some showers are going to be passing through during the first part of the night tonight. So we're not expecting much. It's basically just a little disturbance coming through. And then we've got a cold front that'll swing through tomorrow, and that will bring another round of rain. Right now, it's still quiet. We're at 51 degrees. It is still blustery though. We've got wind out of the south-southwest. That direction is key to help warming things up. But because it's been a little blustery throughout the day, it's feeling maybe a touch cooler tonight. Temperatures though are still in the 50s almost everywhere. You have to head up into the hill towns of Hampshire County to see any 40s, and they're just spotty at best right now. But we're getting there, and we will eventually be dropping back into the 30s overnight. Still breezy for now, with wind sustained right now at about 10 to 15 miles an hour, but we do have lighter wind expected overnight. So just looking at your evening planner, temperatures will be dropping back down through the 40s as we head closer to midnight. We do have a chance to see some showers after about 9 p.m. and we're still a little gusty. But during the overnight and early tomorrow morning, wind will definitely relax a bit. We'll start the day off dry and on the mild side for tomorrow. And then as we head into the afternoon, we could take a run at 60, but you might want to pack the umbrella if you're going to be out later in the day. We'll take a closer look at your forecast in just a few minutes. Beth?
All right, Janna, thank you. A follow-up now to a story we first brought you last week. 2 horses rescued from conditions officers called deplorable in Ludlow. Their caretaker charged with animal cruelty. We get an update now on the horses' conditions today. Western Mass News reporter Leon Purvis joins us in the studio with the new details. Leon?
Beth, just to remind you, the pictures of these horses when they were first discovered in early February are shocking. The 2, Shakira and Tia, were found trapped in their stalls with piles of manure and hay, and their hooves were overgrown. The Massachusetts Society for the Prevention of Cruelty to Animals, known as the MSPCA, telling Western Mass News the horses had to be dug out of a barn in Ludlow. We're told they had sores on their backs from rubbing against the rafters. The horses were taken to Nevin's Farm in Methuen to be rehabilitated. Video of them arriving at the farm last month shows them in tough shape. The MSPCA says it appeared the animals' hooves had not been trimmed for 5 or more years. Fast forward to now, this is video taken of Shakira and Tia as they continue to heal, but they are clearly on the road to recovery. The MSPCA says it will be a long and careful process before the 2 horses are back to full health. They are working on a long-term plan for trimming, reshaping, and hoof care. You have to smile when you see how happy they appear here. Now, Beth, police have charged Nancy Golick of Ludlow in this case. She was arraigned on 4 counts of animal cruelty last week and was released pending a future court date. In studio, Leon Purvis, Western Mass News.
Good information there, Leon, and welcome to the Western Mass News family as well. Well, a follow-up on a story Western Mass News first brought to you. Tenants of a Holyoke apartment building that partially collapsed last month have now started to move back in. Holyoke's Board of Health Director tells Western Mass News the building is safe standing for tenants to come back. An inspection of the roof and the 5th floor units have been done. According to the director, there was no water or damage to the units.